everyone, Tina here. I hope your day is going wonderful. I'm so glad you're joining me. Well, today we are creating with some Hero Arts products. We're gonna make two cards. I wouldn't consider these 5-step cards, but they sure are pretty. We're using the Hero Arts tote bag. This has 6 cutting dies that creates a real cute tote bag. And then there's a greeting set that's new called Totes the Best. How cute is that? This is, I think it's a stamp and cut set, and we'll be using both of those to pop up our sentiment. And then what I think is great stash builder is this stamp set from Hero Arts. This one is called the Background Builder, and it has 6 backgrounds that you can build upon. And the nice thing is they're continuous, so you can stamp one next to it, and it will look like a continuous pattern. If you stamp 4 in a block, they'll connect, so it looks like it's one big background stamp. So basically you're getting at least 4 backgrounds in one stamp. It's a larger 6x8 stamp set. And I've used this die set before. This is an oldie but goodie. This is the Hero Arts large flower layering fancy die. Okay, it's a very large flower. I'll link a video at the end where I created with this. I just love this flower, and I thought we would add some floral touches to our cards. So let's start off by doing our die cutting. Okay, I'm going to die cut the tote, and we'll put that together first. I'm going to make a sunshiny yellow tote. So I have 2 different shades of cardstock. One of them is beeswax from Spellbinders, but the other one is chamomile, and it's not available anymore. But if you have a light and a dark, you could do any color of tote that you would like. I'll die cut out the base with the lighter yellow, the handles with the darker. Even though you're not going to see the one behind it, I'm going to die cut out 2 of the handles. And then this is the little piece that goes on top. This is the piece that goes on the bottom. We'll add this here. There's even a little itty bitty tag. How cute is this? I'll cut that out with the beeswax. And then the pocket, we're going to go neutral with that lighter yellow. I will run this through my die cut machine, and we'll put together a tote. Now you can actually turn this into a pocket if you wanted to, but I'm not going to do that. We're just going to glue it down, and we'll glue it to the very front here. There's debossed area so you know where to layer, which is nice. Okay, I'm going to add the detail layer for the top of the tote next. That's this thin little strip here that has some stitch detail just like the top of the pocket. Am I too far away? I guess I can zoom in a little bit more. Next, I'm going to add that little tag. Place this up here. It comes together very quickly. And then we'll add glue here. Then we can add the handles. Okay, I'm going to flip it around, and I'm going to add the other set of handles. I'm going to add it with the stitch detail up, and I'm going to offset it just a little bit, just so it does look like a tote. You could actually die cut out 2 and create a pocket tote if you wanted to, which would be nice. Okay, and then I have one more piece, which is the bottom layer, and we're going to add some glue here, and we'll just tack this down at the very bottom. And our cute little tote is all done. Wonderful. Okay, now I'm going to stuff my tote with some flowers. Okay, so let's take our layering floral, and we're going to die cut out one flower here. There's 2 sizes of the larger flower in this set, and then one layering littler one. I'm going to take the littler one, and I'm going to cut this out with my carrot cardstock. And you know, I think I'm going to cut out 2 leaves. I'll bring in a bigger piece here. Let's cut out 2 leaves. 2 leaves, 1 flower, and then there's this little fun polka dot detail layer I'm going to cut out with white cardstock. I'm going to leave this out because we're going to do a little bit more die cutting for our next card. But here we go. All I'm going to do is add a little dot of glue to my carrot flower, and we'll add the detail layer. I just love how playful this flower is. Okay, now let's add our leaves. My leaves are going to go behind the tote. That's what the back looks like. That's the front. And then I want to add a little dot of glue here. And then this flower is going to go up here on the top. There we go. That's our little tote. I'm going to flip this over and put some foam tape behind here. Now our tote's all done. I'm going to bring in a piece of Spellbinders waterfall cardstock. This is an A2 panel, and we're going to do some stamping. Let's go ahead and take our background builder. I really like these polka dots here, so we're going to take this. I'm going to treat my paper with my anti-static powder because we're going to heat emboss some white polka dots on here. I'm going to bring in my Hero Hues ink. Ink that up, and then we'll just give this a press. Okay, I'm going to do this in sections, so I'm just going to bring in my white embossing powder, and I'm going to go over this, and then I will melt it with my heat gun. And this time I'm going to line up those circles here on that seam, and then I'll show you how this creates a continuous pattern. It's really neat, and you can actually do the whole panel if you wanted to. Okay, give that a press. Lovely. And then we go over this with white embossing powder. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and melt this. How cool is that? You don't even see a seam. I imagine you can do that with this pattern, the polka dots here, and then maybe the lines here, and then you have some brush strokes. Love it. I'm going to take this and put this on my card base, which is an A2. Now I'm going to take my tote, and we're just going to put this right in the center. The tote handles pop up. I think that looks really fun. Now we're going to stamp our greeting. Let's bring in our stamp set that goes with the tote. It's so much fun. There's actually some extra details in here too, like a cake, and you get some little emblems that you can add. I'm using my VersaFine Clair, and I'm going to stamp it on my lighter yellow cardstock. So the lighter color of tote that you use the same cardstock. I'm going to stamp it's what's inside that counts. And then we'll use the coordinating die, and we'll just cut this out. I did put a foam square behind it, and then we're just going to layer this right here, right in the center of our tote. Now to finish off this card, we're going to bring in some buttons. I haven't used buttons in a long time, and I had these. I actually picked them up for Valentine's Day last year. These are from Buttons Galore, and they're called Valentine Hearts. If I can find them again, I'll link them down below, but any kind of heart button you have would work. I'm going to use a red heart. And then using some of my twine, I'm just going to tie a knot in the very front of it. And I decided to put the knot behind my heart so you can't see it. I'm just going to take this and put this in the center of my flower. Add a little red touch. And I'm just using one of my Zots glue dots to secure that button. And that will finish that card. Now for my next card, we're kind of going to speed through it because we're going to use a lot of the elements that we use for this card. Okay, let me bring in, for my card base, I took some light yellow cardstock, and with that same background builder, I just stamped my polka dots one time in the center of my A2 panel. And I used my Simon Says Stamp Sherbert ink. Okay, so I thought this would make a great backdrop for my next card. And then I really wanted to use the rest of the elements, at least the polka dots, for my flowers. So I die cut out my flowers and my leaves, okay? And then I heat embossed white speckled or white polka dots on the two larger flowers. Let me show you. So now we have some little detail on here. I'm just going to glue these together. And then while I'm at it, I'm going to add that white flower center right in the middle. Okay, now for my leaf, I wanted something different. So I stamped the stripes on my leaf background. Let me show you. Larger die cuts, you could stamp extra patterns on here. I think that's so much fun. Okay, so that's going to be my flower. I'm going to bring in some foam tape. I think that's a good spot, right in the middle. We'll press that down. Now for my greeting, I used the same stamp set that we used, but for this one I just stamped just a note, and I stamped it with the same yellow cardstock with my black ink. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and layer this. Wonderful. Okay, and then we're going to take one of those same hearts, and I'm going to thread some twine through it, and we're going to put that in the flower center also. This background builder makes great printed stuff for your leaves or your flowers or anything really. So those are my 2 card projects for today, using some new and old items from Hero Arts. I hope this gives you a little bit of inspiration. Thanks for joining me as always. Have a wonderful, lovely day, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for sticking with me to the end. I have 2 more videos that you guys might be interested here. If you guys are new and like the content that you see, click that subscribe button and also the notification bell. That way for future videos, be notified. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It sure does help the channel. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.